Yeah. Peace. All right, so let's just get straight into it. All right, so check this out. I got the cheat sheet right here. So you see the pad mixer, you got the program edit, then it goes to the layers, then it goes to the filters, then it goes to the program levels, then it goes through to the channel mixer, then it goes down to the submixes, and then it goes out. So this is the routing of the MPC. Step one is pad mixer. So if you're dealing, I'm only going to deal with drums today, but this is still going to give you a basic idea of what you're up against when you're inside of your MPC. So step one is pad mixer. Okay, so now if we look inside of the pad mixer, you come inside of the pad mixer, these are the steps you want to take with your drums. You want to follow these steps right here. So right now with the levels, you want to make sure your levels are right. Okay, so I checked all my levels are good. Next thing I want to do, I want to pan. So if you look at the panning, you want to add some width to your drum. You get your levels right, and then you want to get your width right. The sends, your sends and your inserts. So I'm going to take my time with this just a little bit. The sends, if you come over to the, now we have to, let's look at this. When you're dealing with your sends, you're dealing with the channel mixer. Because we got to go over to the channel mixer, and this is the returns. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 returns. If I come back to my pad mixer, I've got, look at the send. So your returns are called sends. So you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I don't have 1 on any of my pads, but I do have 2. So if you look here, okay, but I'm still doing all of this inside of the pad mixer. I'm still inside of the pad mixer, even though we skipped down to the channel mixer. Okay, so now let's go to the inserts. On insert 1, I've got a compressor on 3 of my sounds. So that's the kick, the clap, and the snare has a compressor on it, on insert 1. We go over to 2, you can see on my clap and my snare, I have an EQ. And again, this is all in the pad mixer. All right. And if you go over to 3, there's no third insert. And you go to 4, there's no insert. And if you come over to your routing, you see my kick. My kick is the only pad that is routed somewhere else. So my kick is routed out the back of the MPC into my outboard gear. So this is it. And this is how you want to start off when you're mixing your drums inside of the pad mixer. All right, so we look here. Step 2 is the program edit. Let's go inside of program edit. Go inside of your program edit, and let's look right here. And let's go to the samples. You can see I've got layers. So I've got layer 1 and layer 2. And this is where you're looking at your layers. So it's going, this is how it's routing. It's routing from the pad mixer to the program edit to the layers. Let's say, for instance, on my snare, let's go to the effects. And if you go into the effects, you can see in here, you can see this is another way of adding inserts onto your sounds. But we're going to go inside of here now. The high pass filter, if you look right there, you can take some of the low end out on the high pass filter. All right, and this is inside of the program edit. And like I said, also this is dealing with your layers. So if you're going to layer any sounds, you can come inside of your program edit. This is your next route. Okay? You got your filters. So let's look at the filters. It's a little too harsh for me, that hat, so I'm going to take off some of the decay. There you go. this one. Make it a little more snappy. Let's listen to it. Okay. After you leave out of the program edit, you want to go, let's look at our cheat sheet. So far, we've done the pad mixer. We've done the program edit. We've looked at the layers. We filtered. And let's go to the program level. Let's see what the program level looks like. So we come back inside. You look at our drums. So far, it's not clipping. It's close. You always want to leave yourself just a little bit of headroom because, and that's just in case you have to turn something else up. So let's go inside of the channel mixer. So this is me showing you guys how I get my drums to sound good. And that way all I have to do is just change the level or maybe add something to the program of the drums in order to bring them into the pocket. But this is how I start off my mixing with my drums. All right, so now let's use Submix 1 because now there was nothing I needed to do on my channel mixer. So now let's go down to the Submix. Submix is different than a send or a return because a send and a return is something that you want to put on top of your sounds. The Submix is where you want to send your sound through. Okay, let's say I want my drums to have like a tape effect or a lo-fi effect. This is where the Submix is going to come in. So let's go to drums and percussion. We'll come down to, we could do vinyl drums, tape drums, old drums. Let's do vinyl drums. No, let's do tape drums. And it gives you a preset of inserts. We go up to the pad mixer and we're gonna route this clap. We're gonna send that clap to Submix 1. Let's go into Submix 1. That snare is going to go to Submix 1. And this hat, that, and this right here. Pretty much all of our percussion is going to go through Submix 1. All right, so let's see what it sounds like. Let's send that through there too. To the Submix. You can see that those sounds are coming through this Submix right now. So the Submix to me, or any Submix, when you send your drums to a Submix and you don't have to send all of them through, it's when you want to process maybe 2 or 3 of your sounds a certain kind of way, or even if you want to process 2 or 3 of your instruments a certain kind of way, then you can use the Submix. So like Air Flavor Pro, or other sounds, if you want you got 3 different pianos and you don't want to put Air Flavor Pro on all 3 of them, then you can send all 3 of those through a Submix and then put the Air Flavor Pro on top of that, or a chorus or anything. So that's what you're going to use your Submixes for. All right, so if we go to the main out, see all that room I've got? That's a lot of headroom I got. So let's say I want to put, let's put a vintage effect on there. Can't go, let's put the MPC 3000 on top of there. Let's see what it sounds like. Alright, and then we can also put, let's go to Dynamics. Let's go to Air Maximizer. Let's put the Air Maximizer on there and let's just do Mastering Light. Need to turn down. I'm about to drop a lead on this beat real quick. Let me see. sounds good. And then I still got room. And then after you follow this process right here, and you get to a point where you're like, now this is where your ears come in. You know, you followed the process. You started with the pad mixer. You go to the program edit. You go to your program levels. Then you go through the channel mixer, sub mixes, and then you go to your out. This is where your ears come in now. This is where your monitor and speakers come in, or some good headphones, and you get your mix the way you want it to sound. All of this is what I go through before I do listening sessions with artists. I'll at least have my song at least mixed to a basic standard to give them, you know, something to listen to that sounds good through some speakers. So this is my process before anybody hears my music other than y'all, because, you know, y'all see me make a track. But when I know that I'm going to sit down with some artists and do a listening session, then this is what I follow. So if it's been helpful, you guys, I appreciate that you would give me a like or subscribe, a like and a subscribe, and leave in the comments anything you guys want me to go over with the MPC.